is the blue Protoss of Alex from Protan. Not sure what that is. I was invited to it at one point or another, I believe, but I respectfully declined. We will see some form of... I don't believe he is going to do Void Rays this game. He did say that this is going to be different, so I commend him for that. No gas, or gas now just coming for the Terran player, and gas going down for our friend Alex as well. We will see nothing else going on, no double gas and from either player, so no weird tech builds, no cloak, no DT rush or Stargate rush from either player. We do see the weird timing a little bit lacking in terms of the gateway being a tad bit too early and the cyber core being a tad bit too late. He definitely had the resources ahead of time, and I am going to call him out on things because he said I was going to, so I gotta live up to that. Yet again, do see the second gas coming from the Terran player, the second gas also coming from Alex, and we will hopefully see some form of tech coming out as soon as that cyber core is done. He also wants to get out a few units and make some form of push if he is going with what he said in the replay, not going to spoil it for everybody else, going to speed this up just a tad bit so we can get to those other replays. The second gas is now saturated. I don't know what he's going to do with all that gas as a Terran player this early. You usually don't want to get your second gas that early unless you're going for some kind of tech build. Here comes the probe to scout. That warp gate is now done, or is now on the way, as well as 2 more gateways. Still has a decent amount of gas. Let's hope he throws down some form of tech building here soon. Not hotkeying his Nexus and probes correctly as all the probes do. What is wrong with you? You have your Nexus on 1. I believe most people do have it on 5, just a little bit of trivia there, not actually calling you out on that one. That's just preference. I do have mine on 5. The Prophecy Pylon was thrown down before that probe went to its death. A reactor on the way and a factory as well. He might switch that over and get Widow Mines or Hellions. Hellions not too effective in this matchup. Definitely the Widow Mines though, if there is not an observer. The robotics factory going down, I believe that is one of the first times he has built a robotics factory in his StarCraft career. Do see the command center on the way though, and that will be very bad if he is going to go for this one base push as the Protoss player, getting chrono boosting that gateway or that warp gate. Not having any units on the field though. Usually you want to have a stalker or a stalker and zealot as well as the mothership core, since this is Heart of the Swarm, and that will just block any scouting as well as stop any early pressure. 2 Marines at a time though, and this switched into a tech lab with an engineering bay. Quite the odd build for the Terran. Don't know what he's going for, but I do know that he is supply blocked, unlike our Protoss friend who is building 2 pylons while he's already at 27 out of 42 supply, wasting those minerals while he doesn't need to. Very bad on his part, but he might still be able to pull this off. He does need to make those warp gates, and he does have the chrono boosted Immortal, and he already has the rally point set. He is going to go straight for the Terran base with this Immortal, and any units that he warps in. Probably going to be 3 Stalkers. There they are. They can poke up the ramp and take out the Marines. It takes about 4 shots, I believe, to kill a Marine, 4 or 5 rather. And they can outrange the Marines if they do come out of the base or poke at the front and kill those Marines, taking only shield damage if you do micro correctly. The Immortal is on the way now, will move very slowly. An Observer also being chrono boosted out for that line of sight on the high ground. We will see if that gets taken out by the missile turret though. It is in position. Oddly made though. I don't know why he made that unless he expected DTs. He has no real reason to. I don't know. He did not scout the double gas. He only scouted 1 gas. So I don't know why he put that missile turret there. But we will see. That siege tank would be effective if this was Zerg, but since this is Protoss, since Protoss does have a nice unit called the Immortal, then that means that siege tank will do minimal damage if this is microed out correctly. A sentry and a stalker being warped in, possibly for that force field, keeping the units out if he can bait them out of the Terran base. And now this command center is going to have a terrible, terrible revelation. Seeing the entire Protoss army, this Immortal taking free siege chain hits. It does only take that 10 damage per hit, but you don't want to waste that shield until you are ready to take out that siege tank. And now the Stalker's taking the hits. He really wants to get the command center, but that's not a very good trade, especially if he loses that sentry. Your cousins need to use that, bring that to the front of the base, and here it is. Hopefully he doesn't lose it to the missile turret, which he is about to, and there it goes. But he does push up the ramp, If he does start hitting that siege chain, everything will be in his favor. Now he's starting to push up. There's nothing here to deal with these stalkers. He needs to move up the ramp so all of his stalkers are firing. Unfortunately, he doesn't know how to do that, it would seem, but he is going to keep moving up, start killing the Marines, and the Terran should GG out here soon. He doesn't have nearly enough to hold against this, still not being microed up the ramp. Terrible Protoss player, but that's beside the point. We see him moving up, and he will take out that Marine in one fell swoop. The other Marines not being nearly enough. Or a siege chain being here. But this Immortal is still at full shield, full health. He will do everything to take out the siege chain. The Stalkers will take it out before it gets more than one shot off, and the Terran will have to GG out here momentarily. But still not yet. There he goes, and that was a pretty well set up 3-day robo push, just messing around with our friend Alex, not actually being mean, but he expects it, so I have to commit to that. He did do a nice push. You do usually want to have a few units in beforehand, and Terran needed to scout this so that way he knew to prepare, needed more Marines, needed more everything, really. But good game from Alex, and thank you for sending in the replay.